is CrossFit a good base for MMA and martial arts?
So yes, from a fitness perspective, 100%, because it's functional fitness. You guys always keep giving me shit about functional fitness versus strengthening fitness. If you're going to talk functioning fitness, absolutely. I almost threw up my first 3 classes. So yeah, I mean, I was.
Well, you did better than Sean.
Yeah.
Then.
No, I was knackered, man. That is rough. And the interesting thing about CrossFit and boxing and fighting in MMA in general is the workout, the intensity of the workout is determined by you. So if a class starts getting too easy, it means you're not pushing hard enough because you're timed. So if you've got 30 seconds to do a certain workout and you're doing 12 push-ups every single time and it's getting easier and easier and you're not getting past 12 push-ups, that means you're not pushing yourself further to get more tired. That means you're not going to progress. So literally each class can be it'll kill you if you push yourself hard enough.
And it scales that way, which is cool.
Exactly. So like I've got a mate here in Dubai who does functional classes with me, and he is shredded. He's way more fit than me, and he still comes out of a class blowing. He can't breathe because he still pushes to the next level.
So that's what you mean by it scales.
Yeah, same thing as boxing. However hard you push yourself in those 45-minute training is what you're going to get out of it. So
let's look at two of the best fighters that the UFC's had. Yeah, quick math. The Diaz brothers. What do they do in their spare time? They're triathletes.
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed too. That too. I mean, they're triathletes, and it's not to say that it's the same as CrossFit, but it's very much cardio based. It's very much it's stamina related. You're trying to lift that threshold that you'd use during your gas tank, essentially, that you're emptying during a fight. And both those brothers can go an entire 5-round fight without gassing. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I think CrossFit is a decent base, but like you said, it's an art form altogether. It's its own sport. You could use it as a good functional strength, maybe routine that maybe they dedicate a day or two a week to it, but yeah.
So where CrossFit falls short from what the Diaz brothers train is impact. So what you'll find is a lot of guys have to quit CrossFit after 2 years of training. The joints take a massive hit. So because it's jumping on and off of boxes, it's all this literally your joints, it hurts after a while. And for people like me, it's not so bad because I only weigh 70 kilograms, but I know people that are 100 kilograms and they said after a year of CrossFit, they were done. Their knees and their ankles and stuff just can't handle it anymore.
I don't know, that kind of seems a little, I mean, it's a very young, relatively speaking, it's a very young movement. It's a very young discipline. So maybe only time will tell. That seems a bit counterintuitive to me because CrossFit places a lot of emphasis by virtue of its full body movements and total body workouts on flexibility, mobility, and the strengthening of joints, the strengthening of tendons and form. Isn't that, I mean, I get what you're saying. And I also think that, this is one of the potential drawbacks of CrossFit as a martial arts space, is that because you redline yourself with maximum effort and maximum heart rates and maximum intensity and every session, your fatigue is huge. And that's why you see, like massive guys laid out on the floor, gasping for life after every single session. So that for me might be a drawback in MMA training because you might not, you're potentially not leaving room for any other kind of training that day, even if that's the kind of intensity and effort that you're exerting, which
you'd have to commit an entire day to it. Yeah.
Which for MMA, potentially isn't the best thing because you want to achieve the best possible results and the most results with the least effort possible.
Yeah.
However, it seems a bit counterintuitive to me that after 2 years, for example, people are pulling up and being like, shit, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard on my joints. And if you're doing CrossFit properly with the correct form, is form not maybe an issue?
So this is where the problem comes in, right? So you push yourself every single lesson. If you're doing it right, you're doing a 45-minute session, 25 minutes in, you're already knackered. You're already thinking about how the hell am I going to get to the end? If you're doing it right, that's what you end up doing. And those last 15 minutes, when you're doing box jumps, do you think you're coming off the box right every time? No, it's you're slogging through it.
But that's more of a blight on the practitioners of CrossFit and the discipline itself.
It's more about the average human being. I'm not talking about the Mayweathers of the world who probably go through a 45-minute session pushing themselves fully, and you'll still have perfect form at the end. But the average human being trying to get through CrossFit is a mean task, man. And I would recommend it. CrossFit is an incredible training, but I wouldn't say that. Like Sean said, it's something on its own. If you're going to do it as practicing for fighting and stuff, or trying to get fit for fighting, there are better ways of getting fit. There's a lot of HIIT trainings that don't require a lot of impact. I mean, for example, Sean and I have played extensive amounts of squash. That is a sport you think that doesn't have any impact, and you're working joints, you're working turning quick movements. And how many adults that play squash say they have knee problems, ankle problems, all kinds of problems because of the impact of getting around the court. So I think it's pure. It comes down to I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know if for a casual, I don't know if it's worthwhile doing something like CrossFit, because you have to really commit a lot of time to it. And also maybe in martial arts, it's not all about having the world's best stamina. It's also got to do with being as efficient as possible. So trying to, it's a bit of a paradox, because in one sense you do want to be able to, when it comes down to it, outlast someone, because in a jiu-jitsu fight or match, it's usually the guy who can keep going, push the momentum, that's going to win that bout, or win the fight, or win the match. But when it comes to just essentially training, most guys are going to go for being more efficient than being more stamina rich. I don't know how else to explain it.
I think the other thing is, like, you have workouts of the day, right, in CrossFit, which are completely random. So by virtue of that as well, there's no real plan to it in terms of a measured approach to achieving a specific goal. The thing that I do like, go for it.
Sorry, just on that exact point, the only thing they're measuring is weight loss. So that is the biggest aspect of why CrossFit was created, was the idea of surprising your body is what yields results in weight loss. So, for example, I know a runner who runs the marathon, or the what do you call it? The marathon in South Africa, the long one.
Comrades.
The Comrades Marathon. The guy literally has a belly. He runs 20 kilometers every single morning for training, cannot get skinny purely because of habit. It's his body knows that he's going to do this, but he eats normally and everything. He just never gets skinny. And they base this whole thing of, you need to keep your body guessing as to what's going to happen next and keep burning fat. And I think it's clever what they've done.
So it's more literally weight loss oriented rather than functional strength for martial arts.
Yeah.
But still, though, I mean, lifting things, doing the things that you do in martial arts, I think it's still applicable to a certain extent. But Jay, you also pointed out it's an art on its own.
Yeah, I think what they're also looking to do is keep you young. So the idea is meant to be, when you're 40 years old, you're training all these different movements that apply to different things you do in your everyday, like picking stuff up, carrying it out the house, pushing a pram, all kinds of random shit that you do as a human being. That's what CrossFit's meant to build. So it makes your day-to-day life easy. It's functional. It makes you more functional as a human being.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Think about that. Yeah.
But
that's cool. I mean,
it's cool base to live your life on. But that's why I say, as a base for fighting, I think it requires far too much time and investment to make it your base of
To be
everything.
practical, yeah.